Right. Family judgment. Do not let that be the reason that you stay bound by religious programming. All right. So let's hop right into today's episode. Let's just face it. Whether you were born into religion, whether religion was handed to you as a child and someone told you, your family told you, your friend or parents told you, grandparents told you, here, this is the religion that this family follows, so therefore we give this to you, okay? Or perhaps you adopted religion maybe as a young adult because you were trying to find yourself or you were trying to escape from some trouble that was happening in your life, okay? Whatever your attachment, however that happened to whatever religion, okay, that you were a part of, that religion was the foundation of your family. And for some of you watching, it could still be the foundation of your family. All right. So religion is not only the foundation of many families, the religious construct influences family dynamics. It influences how members of your family communicate with each other. It influences the boundaries between family members or lack thereof. All right. Yes, the religion goes deep. And this is why I talk about the importance of going internal and really focusing on your identity and noticing the blind spots of where religious programming is even still operating in your life, even though you have left that construct. All right. Religion affects every single system. It affects every single part of our lives. All right. I always say that, and I'm going to continue to say that. So religion, unfortunately, becomes the thing that has kept families together. Now, I know that sounds weird. So you heard me say, unfortunately, regarding the family being knitted together by religion. Now, I don't mean that it's unfortunate that families have stayed together, because the family unit is essential to humanity. The family unit, I believe, is essential to the preservation of humanity, because family represents community. Family represents alliances. Family represents wealth alliances. Okay. Family represents help, support. All right. So no, that is a fortunate thing. But what type of family unit are we talking about here? We are talking about a healthy family unit that is full of respect, full of love. Because in order for a family unit to represent a community, that family unit has to have respect, and there has to be love there. I think we can all agree to that. Okay. So, but here's the thing. The reason why I say, unfortunately, religion has kept families together, because religion, in all its unhealthiness, it breeds family units that are toxic, with a lack of respect, with a lack of boundaries, with a lack of love. Okay. So with a lack of emotional intelligence. Now, that what I just said right there is enough for me to save that for another episode and go more in depth in that, which I will. And I am going to say that for another video. But I had to bring that into today's episode so that I could present this entire picture, okay, on family judgment. All right. So I needed to touch on that very briefly. So let's come back. So I'm going to say this again. Religion, unfortunately, has become the standard for families. All right. So this is why detaching completely from religious programming can feel so challenging. I am bringing this up. I've talked about this before on the show, on the podcast, and I'm bringing it up again because I'm noticing that so many people are allowing themselves to stay bound by religious programming. They are not moving into the fullness of who they are as alchemists, as magicians. They are not able to even recognize their own spiritual gifts and their own spiritual technology because they're still too worried about, they're still being influenced by the judgment of families. All right. Now, this challenge, it can present itself whether you have been away for religion for some time, whether it's been months or years, or if you have one foot out of religion, the other foot in religion, and you're leaning more on the foot that's out. Okay. Now, normally for all of my content, I strictly talk to people who have been away. You've already made the move out. All right. But this message is also still for you if you have one foot in religion, the other foot out, but you're leaning out, but yet your fear of family judgment is keeping you locked. All right. So even I'm going to give you this personal example. I have been away from religion for 20 plus years now. All right. I have received just within the last week judgment from family. Okay. One particular person. And this is a person that's very close to me that holds, we'll just say, a high title in the family unit, in the family structure. Okay. What you need to understand is sometimes that judgment is not going away. Be comfortable with that. The judgment sometimes, in some cases, is not going away. But that has nothing to do with you. All right. Has nothing to do with your spiritual technology, with your magic, with your power, and with your soul, with your spirit, and with your consciousness. Nothing to do with you. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's come back. Let me go back to my notes. So when you walk away, all right, from the religion, all right, you're going to have family members who are still locked in to religion. They will still be locked into religion. And that is upsetting. It will be upsetting to the family or to one individual or maybe a few individuals. Now, you're going to have some individuals who will never say anything, but then you'll have that one, or maybe even one or two, three, okay, who will attempt to question you, not out of pure curiosity, but they will question you out of judgment. All right. And again, this judgment comes from, here you are. And this is where, in your sovereignty, in your higher level of consciousness, you'll need to understand that here you are walking away from the thing that everyone in your family has followed for generations. Okay? That's what you have to understand. That is you have caused a shakeup within the individual who is still locked in religiosity. It's only causing a shakeup. It's their shakeup, not yours. All right? Now, because religion has been a part of the family, the religion has become a tradition. What is a tradition? A tradition is something that happens all the time. It is a practice. And unfortunately, with traditions, everyone just adopts it. No one questions whether it is serving a cause or not, no, or a good cause. No one is questioning whether the tradition is healthy. No one is questioning individuals. They're not questioning, well, do I even like this tradition? Is this feeding my soul? Is this tradition feeding my spirit? Is this tradition helping me to elevate my consciousness? Is this tradition helping me to elevate my life? That's where the downfall of a tradition happens. And this is what religion is. Okay. So what has happened is you stepped away from this tradition. All right. And family members will take your stepping away. They will take it personally. I'm going to give you a specific example. The reason why they will take it personally, and this will more so apply to parents. Doesn't matter what age you are. This will apply to parents because the parents will take that. And this is especially if you were born into the religion, or, say, for example, your parents, they found this religion when you were a young child, toddler, whatever. And so with you walking away, they're taking this as a personal, they're taking your alternative route. Okay. They're taking it personal because they're attaching their parenting to this religion. You see how that works? And so because you're walking away, they're thinking, okay, what does it say about my parenting then? Okay. Your parents may view your walking away and you choosing a higher level of consciousness. Okay. They're viewing it as a hit against their parenting. I know you've never heard that before, but that is what is happening. Okay. So here's what you need to take away from this episode. I will say this over and over and over again. Do not allow judgment, family judgment, to keep you bound and to keep you from operating in the fullness, actually in the overflow of who you are as the divine. Do not allow judgment to cause you to cover up who you are as a sovereign being. You will get to a place where family judgment is not a factor. You're not going to care. It will not matter. You will not even need to address it anymore. Okay? How do you get to this place? How do you get to this state of where the judgment is not a factor, where you literally don't care? Regardless of who the judgment is coming from. You get to this place by setting boundaries about what you are going to discuss and what you will and what you will not respond to. You get to decide that. You get to decide that. And that was one of the top things that got me to this place where judgment doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whether they choose to keep putting their energy into judgment or not, that does not affect me. And who I am and what I came here to do and what I came here to accomplish. And my spiritual technology is not affected. Okay. So I'm going to say this again. You get to a place where you'll set boundaries about what you'll discuss, what you will and will not respond to. Okay. You will also get to this place, and I want you to hear this. You will get to this place by focusing on leveling up your consciousness. Elevating your consciousness, not worrying about someone else's religiosity. Okay? You will get to that space when you focus on yourself. Because, and another thing I want to throw out here is when you're focused on your identity as a spiritual being, as a spiritual powerhouse, as a magician, as a creator, as an alchemist, you will be so in tune with your soul and with your spirit and what you're connected to that even before a person even opens up their mouth, or even if you walk into, let's say, a family function, you're going to know, okay, I'm getting ready to walk into a space where someone is going to attempt judgment. And then you get to, because again, when you focus on yourself, when you go internal, your intuition just explodes, okay? Your intuition becomes how you live, all right? So you will be able to pick up on these things before anything is said. And at that point, you get to decide, well, do I stay? How long do I stay? Or do I even show up? Okay? Or is this a day where I don't need to communicate at all? And I know that sounds, when you're talking about family, a lot of people don't want to talk about family in that way because it can sound like you're cutting people off. No, this is not about cutting anyone off. Because as a sovereign being, you know that you don't have to do that. You don't have to be the spiritual powerhouse and then completely separate yourself from people. No, that is not what a sovereign being does. A sovereign being knows how to interact with people, on what level, when, and how. And you allow your soul to guide you to do that. But if you don't take anything else away from this episode, do not allow judgment to keep you from operating in your sovereignty, in the overflow of your sovereignty. All right. So I want you to take that with you. And I want you to, if you're watching this on Unleashed Alchemy TV on YouTube, let me know what your takeaways are. Leave me a comment. Also, if you're new, subscribe. Okay. Since you're watching anyway, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, if you are listening on Unleashed Alchemy podcast, thank you for being here. Follow, share this episode with other people that you know that could benefit from this message. All right. Also, I want you to go to the link where I talk about my program that I'm starting. It's 8 sessions. It's called Unleash Your Sovereignty. We begin August 31st at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is a live program that I'm teaching. It's going to move you from and listen, this is not just deconstructing from religion. This is about you reconnecting with your identity and noticing where the blind spots of religion has operated in your life and could probably continues to operate and you haven't even realized it. But that's okay, because before the program is over, you're going to be able to identify those blind spots and you're going to be able to alchemize it so that now your nervous system is now operating from sovereignty, not programming, but sovereignty, the realness and truth of your soul and your spirit. You're also going to recognize your spiritual gifts. Okay. Your spiritual gifts are going to come online. You're also going to know how to implement your magic into your everyday life. Yes, you're a spiritual being. You're in this physical body. So you have to know how to move about in the world, okay, as a human being. So I want you to check out the link. Like I said, the link is in the description box of this video. It will be in the show notes on the podcast. When you click on that link, it'll take you to a page where you will see what we're going to cover in each of those 8 sessions. And also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, there are still options to do that. You can sign up for a 24-session package with me. For that package, you do have to email me to sign up. All right. I do that a little bit differently. Go to unleashedalchemy@gmail.com to do that. Also, from now through mid-August, you can also sign up for a one-time 55-minute session with me, okay, where you can ask me a question, all right, or a few questions, okay, and it is on it really turns into an energetic reading that I provide for you, okay, and so check out the link that gives the description of what will be entailed in your 55-minute session with me, okay, it's one time, all right. And then also, one last thing, I do have my first product, okay, that I have just released. It is available to you. Go to spellandhoney.myshopify.com, where I give the description on what that product is. Okay. I could tell you here, but I want you to go to the website, all right, and read for yourself. Okay. So until then, until next time, until the next episode, be sovereign.